My dad ate meat from a deer that walked on 2 legs. Now he was acting kinda strange. It started the night my dad came back from the woods. He was a hunter all his life. Nothing made him happier than carrying his old rifle and walking deep into the trees until the world of roads, cars, and noise faded behind him. I grew up on his hunting stories. How he once tracked a buck for miles in the snow. How he found bear tracks bigger than his boots. How sometimes, he swore, the forest watched him back. But nothing in his stories sounded like what happened last week. The hunt he left just before dawn. The air was cold, fog wrapping round the house. He carried his rifle, whistling softly, and promised me and Mom he'd be back by sundown. He didn't return until midnight. I was half asleep on the couch when I heard the crunch of boots on the porch. The door opened slow, creaking like it didn't want to, and when Dad stepped inside, I almost didn't recognize him. His clothes were torn. His hands were stained dark mud, or maybe dried blood. His eyes looked wider than usual, darting around the room like he was afraid something had followed him home. "Got something good," he said, voice low, almost whispering. "What is it?" I asked. He dropped the burlap sack he was carrying. A smell filled the air, immediately metallic, raw, wrong. I peeked inside and felt my stomach twist. It wasn't deer meat. At least, not from any deer I'd seen. The meat was dark, almost black and slick with a sheen that caught the light like oil. The bones were too long, too thin, bent in strange ways. And then there was the skull. It looked like a deer, yeah, but stretched. The snout was too short, the eye sockets too big, and its teeth, God, its teeth weren't right. They looked more human than animal. I stepped back. "Dad, what is that?" His smile was wide, too wide. It was a deer, just a deer. But he wouldn't meet my eyes when he said it. The meal the next day. He cooked it. Mum refused to touch it, wrinkling her nose as soon as he laid the meat. "On the counter, that doesn't smell like venison," she said. "Throw it out, John, please." But Dad ignored her. He chopped the meat into thick slabs, humming a tune I didn't know. The sound of it set my teeth on edge. It was like humming and growling at the same time. When he fried the meat, the whole kitchen stank. Not like steak, not like venison, more like burning hair and copper. He piled his plate high. I couldn't eat, neither could Mum, but Dad shoveled it down like he was starving. He chewed with his mouth open. His teeth tore through the flesh like it was soft bread. Juice ran down his chin, dark and sticky, and with every bite, his eyes gleamed brighter. When he finished, he leaned back in his chair and sighed, almost like he was full for the first time in years. Then he whispered, "Best I've ever had." The change that was 3 days ago. Since then, Dad's been different. He doesn't sleep much. I hear him pacing the halls at night, muttering in a voice that doesn't sound like him. Sometimes it's too low, too guttural. Sometimes it's too high, almost like laughter. His skin looks pale, stretched. His veins crawl under the surface, darker than they should be. His eyes are sharp now, glowing faintly in the dark when I catch him staring at me from the end of the hall. And the worst part, he doesn't eat normal food anymore. Mum made him eggs yesterday. He pushed the plate away, sneering. "Tasteless," he muttered, weak. That night, I found him in the garage, crouched over something. When I turned on the light, I saw the mangled body of a raccoon in his hands. He tore into it raw, meat and fur sticking to his lips. He hissed at me, eyes blazing, before slamming the door shut. The Wood's Eye begged Mum to leave. "We can't stay." Here's something's wrong with him, but she shook her head. It's just stress, just stress. He'll get better. That night, Dad left again. He didn't take his rifle this time. He just walked into the woods barefoot, moving strangely, his back hunched, arms swinging too long. I followed him, staying low, my breath tight in my chest. The moon was bright, lighting the trees in silver. That's when I saw them, shapes between. The trees, tall, thin, moving on two legs but bending wrong. Their heads had antlers, branching high like twisted trees. Their eyes glowed faint white. They circled my dad, clicking their teeth. He didn't run. He didn't fight. He laughed, and then he bent down, moving on all fours, his body twitching, his arms stretching until his fingers scraped the dirt. They walked with him, not as prey, not as hunters, but as if he was one of them. The return he came back at dawn, covered in mud and blood. His smile was wider than ever, his teeth sharp. Mum screamed when she saw him. He didn't even flinch. He just walked past her, sat at the table, and whispered, "We are not done eating." I don't think he meant himself. I think he meant us. Now it's single quotes. Been a week. Mum has stopped talking. She just stares at him, trembling whenever he walks by. I keep the door to my room locked. I sleep with a knife under my pillow. But sometimes I hear him outside my door, breathing too slow, too heavy, too animal. Sometimes I hear him whisper, "You should try it, son, just one bite. Then you'll see." I know what he's waiting for. He wants me to join him, and God help me. Sometimes, when the smell of that meat drifts through the house, I feel hungry too.